And what you see in front of you here is the basic lock screen. You know, every tablet has a lock screen. But until I unlock this device, that's where you'll see the difference in Windows 8. So obviously on the touch screen right here, I'm able to see things like my battery power. I'm able to take a look at things like my Wi-Fi connectivity. But again, things are going to change as soon as I unlock this tablet. And here's how. As I unlock this screen, you'll notice that it's not just one person that can use this tablet. It's multiple people. We can have our own profiles. We can have our own look and feel to our desktop. It's something that not any other tablet can provide to the extent that Windows 8 can. Because we can apply group policy. We can apply security to each one of these users. And so you run into these situations, for example, where perhaps you do have multiple iPads or multiple Android devices in a home. And part of the reason why you do that is because everyone wants their own separate experience. We can do that with Windows 8. So let me give you some examples here. I could, for example, log in as my JJ Antiquino account, log in with a PIN if I'd like to. I can go in and log in as administrator, log in with a user password if I'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and log in as AD Jordan. Now, one of the unique ways of logging into Windows 8 is with a picture password. So instead of having to type in a PIN or a complex password, I'm going to go ahead and click on a couple of areas on the screen. Hopefully they'll show up on your screen as well. And I'll log into the device. So let's go ahead and click in here. Looks like they're not actually showing up on the device. But I'm going to go ahead and log in. 1 second here. Sorry, folks. 1 second. The screen is a little bit smaller than my actual device. So here we go. This is the Windows 8 start screen. And so if you're used to doing this with your iPad, you're going to be very used to doing this on your Windows 8 tablet. Let me show you why. With my Windows 8 tablet here on the start screen, I'm going ahead and scrolling over to my left and to my right, and you see what displays on the screen what we call live tiles. As I'm scrolling through the screen, you're noticing that some of these tiles are actually updated. I can see new information being typed up to these live tiles as I'm doing my work, as this is actually up on my screen. So there's a lot of little actions you can build on here. I can customize this notice up at the top. I've got my own little background. If I'd like to switch these in the middle of doing something, I don't have to shut the machine down. All I've got to do is click on my demo account right here. You'll see I can switch into an administrator or to my own personal account. So what about customization? What's that looking like? Very easy. I can go ahead and select a tile if I like. For example, like the weather tile. Drop it down, and I can move this tile wherever I'd like to move it on my actual tablet. So very simple. What we're really targeting our developers to do is create beautiful Windows 8 UI applications. And we've got some out of the box. Things like, for example, our finance app. I really love the way that we display stocks with this finance app. And keep in mind that whenever I log in, I'm logging in, for example, with a domain account. I'm logging into a Windows ID, and instantly I'm connected to the cloud. And so, for example, I'm getting updates to stock information. This might be from Friday, but you can take a look at the beauty of some of these Windows 8 UI apps. As I scroll left and right. And of course, what version of Windows would not be complete with a copy of Solitaire? So let me go ahead and log into Solitaire and show you what that looks like in Windows 8. And show you how it's actually a little bit different. I can go ahead and move these cards around, and we've got some cool ways to end the game, a lot different than the cascading cards that you're used to. But when I actually leave the actual Solitaire game, I want you to notice something over in the top right-hand corner. I'm logged in to my Xbox Live account. So if you run Xbox Live, you know that you get things like achievements. And I've got that all here in Windows 8. So as I play my games in Solitaire, if I look at my Xbox Live account, I will see those achievements show up right there as well. So some cool ways that we're connected to the cloud. So again, if I'm logged in, I'm a consumer, and I want to store all my documents in the cloud. As long as I've got a Windows Live ID, guess what? I'm connected directly to SkyDrive. I can store all my documents in the cloud, all my pictures in the cloud, and it actually links into some of the other apps. Let me give you an example here. So I've got my, I've got my SkyDrive up there. When I go to things like pictures or photos, notice over here that I am now connected to my photos that are located on my Windows 8 PC. Perhaps it might be in SkyDrive. Maybe I'm going to have on Facebook, or perhaps Flickr, or some of the other devices I'm going to in my internal network. So Windows 8 is a very great cloud-connected platform. But, some of you may say, well, my tablet can do this. My tablet can, connect to the cloud. I can have some of the apps you're showing me. But one of the things that sets Windows 8 apart from all the other tablets out there is productivity. All the other tablets out there are great at consuming folks out, they have their keyboards out, and they're typing up notes. But I'll say this, I'll bet that every one of you in the room here that has a tablet also owns a second device to really produce information like a laptop or a desktop. With Windows 8, this is the only device that I now use to be productive. And here's why. Scrolling back and forth, scrolling back and forth, scrolling back and forth. Windows desktop. So with this one device, I can now create information. I can edit it. I can be very manual. I can do little math. So I've even got a mouse up here that you can see with my little cursor. I can go ahead and do whatever I need. I've got a Bluetooth keyboard underneath here as well to start typing in documents. Full Windows 8 here that I've got running on this. And so you can see I've got Office 2010 installed. So there's Word. For example, if I want to go ahead and open up Excel as well. These aren't slimmed down versions of the product. These are full versions of the product. So as I'm looking at Word 2010 here, you'll probably say, wait, didn't Jeff say something about Office 2013? Office 2013 is actually in preview mode right now. So I'm actually going to show you some of the tidbits that I've actually learned using the product. Alright, so I'm going to go to my start screen. And I'm actually going to open up and start off with things like PowerPoint. And show you some of the new features, how really touch-enabled PowerPoint, but still made it very flexible to use with a mouse and keyboard. PowerPoint 2013, I've got a couple of demo documents I'm going to show you. So for example, let's go and start off with Northwood presentation. So we've made this more touch-enabled. So if I wanted to go ahead and scroll through all my different slides, just a very simple back and forth motion over here on my tablet. If I want to pinch and zoom within my PowerPoint presentation, very easy to do that. And I can go through my notes and so forth. Let's say, for example, though I'm on the road, and this actually happened, believe it or not, I fly a lot. And there are times when I have to prepare for presentations. And when I do that, I want to make some quick edits. So for example, let's say I want to go ahead and click on my slide, and I want to take a look at some of the different transitions. And I can drop this down right here, for example, going through things like Ripple. So you can see what that might look like. I'm not doing this at a desktop or a laptop. I'm doing this from my tablet. Maybe I want to go ahead and show you things like checkerboard, and I can show you what that's going to look like. I get a quick preview. I'm doing this all from the comfort of my Airline seat. But one of the things that I think is really important, we're using different technologies up here, believe it or not, to do this PowerPoint presentation. We've got something up here so we can see some of the presenter notes. We've also got what you see on the screen here. But again, what can PowerPoint 2013 do that some of the other versions can't? Let me show you what I see. And go ahead and present this. And there you go, you see that slide coming up. If I click over here and show you presenter view, this is the new view that a presenter is able to see in PowerPoint 2013. I can interact directly with that little window you see over there. I can see, I can highlight, I can mark up that particular slide. I can also see my slide notes. I've reversed this because if you take a look what I've got on my tablet right here, this is what all the audience sees. What you see on the big screen is what the presenter sees. And what's also great about this is, I do a lot of presentations, and there are times when they call me to do a presentation, and I haven't had time to prepare all the slides ahead of time. But the good news is, over there in the top right-hand corner, I see what the next slide is actually going to be that's going to pop up for me to present on. So that's a quick look at PowerPoint 2013. Let me go ahead and exit out of this. And show you a little bit more when it comes to actually creating documents and working with documents. Let's see, I think I've got some pretty good apps here. And what I want to show you is actually something that I found very interesting about Word. Notice over here in the top right-hand corner, I'm already cloud connected. I'm logged in with my Xchange at live.com email address. That means that all my documents can be saved up by SkyDrive. If I log in with an Office 365 domain account, it can be saved up directly into my SharePoint site. But again, we can have all these documents wherever we need them. So before I even open up this document, I want to talk about something as it pertains to reading Word documents. When you read a Word document, oftentimes you've got to change the magnification, scroll up and down, move it left and right to actually read the document. So what we wanted to make Word into is not only a great way to produce information, but also consume information. So as I click on Northwood Proposal, you'll notice that this actually opens up in reading mode. So instead of having to scroll through this big document, I can use this as an e-reader on the plane or on my bed and read through my Word documents by simply flicking through say I do want to go ahead and start editing this Word document. Very quickly, I can go to View and select Edit Documents. And now I'm going to go ahead and start editing this document. Let me go ahead and give you an example of some of the new features that we've also built in to show us that we are cloud connected with Office 2013. You know, there's a lot of great pictures in here, but I've spent a lot of time creating this document. I actually want to insert my own picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on some of this information. You can see that the cursor is blinking there. We've got that little circle underneath it, so it's easier for you to see where it is if you're trying to touch. I'm going to go ahead and hit the insert, and I'm going to insert now not just a regular picture, but an online picture. As I select online pictures, we're going to connect to the cloud. Hopefully my internet connection is coming up here. Double check this here. And you see here that I can go to office.com clipart. I can do a big search. I can go get directly to my Skype. I can go to my SharePoint site. But in this case, I'm going to be a little vague here. I'm going to do a search for JJ on the internet, see what I find. And as I hit enter here, you'll see it says no results. And the reason why I say no results, of course, is because we want to save you for making a copyright mistake. We search the Creative Commons database to find out if there are any free pictures that you can use inside your documents. But in this case, there aren't anything free because I get paid a lot of money, right? So I'm going to go and show all the web results. And I do see a picture over there somewhere on the web of me. And I'm going to go ahead and select JJ, and I'm going to insert him directly into my document. So without having to go out separately into Internet Explorer to find that picture, I was able to do it directly inside of Office. And when I do that, I can now very quickly click on that layout option. And now wrap text around it. It's not exactly where I want it to be. All I have to do is start moving the picture around. And once I want to start reading the document again, all I've got to do is go to View, put it in read mode, and there you see my picture, and it's easy for it to read. If you're in a low light situation, you want to go into a black, white on black type scenario, you go ahead and show you that I need this and put this into an inverse mode. Some great things coming out of being productive on this. Now, let's go ahead and flip out into another app that's also been developed especially for touch, and that's by using something like OneNote MX. So as I select OneNote MX, we've actually created some new ways to actually interact with the tablet device. Yeah, you're familiar with the ribbon up at the top, but we've also created something called the radio menu. So I'll give you kind of an example right here. I'm going to go ahead and start typing some text. Let's say go ahead and type up a quick document. And now when I interact with this document, I see all this text. What came up over here on the right-hand side, that little purple circle, is the radio menu. If I select the radio menu, I now can interact with that text. So for example, let's go ahead and change color. And my color will change into some of the basic colors. So if I want to change the color even more, I can click to this radio menu and see some other options for the green and go ahead and select that and hit OK. So this is an example of OneNote. I'm going to exit out of this keyboard and also show you how else I can interact with this. Like for example, showing things like notebooks, pin page, feedback. But let's go ahead and click out here and open up the camera. All right, so let's go ahead and try to take a picture over here. All right, there's Xchange. I'm going to go and click on Xchange. Let's say I want to go and crop out that particular picture. And now hit OK to insert that into my OneNote document. That's a great picture, but I want to get some more information. OneNote, add a pen. Very flexible. So I can go ahead and say, this is awesome. And I don't have to worry about the issues you run into with the capacitive touchscreen. The stylus use on OneNote MX is truly awesome. So I'm going to finish up with just one more thing. And that's going to show you something that I know a lot of you use on a daily basis. I know I use a lot. I know my screen gets cluttered up. My start menu bar, wow, there's so many things that pop up because of the way we use Outlook. So here's the copy of Outlook 2013 that's going to be loading up here in just a second. And you'll see that it has changed a little bit. Sarah Davis looks like she's left me a message. And typically with Outlook, you're writing all these emails, and you hit reply, and it opens up another window. You open up another email, it opens up another window. And what you find out is that you have a desktop cluttered with all of these emails that are open on your screen, right? With Office 2013, what we finally introduced is the ability here to respond to an email directly in line. So now I'm not cluttering on this. What do you guys think about that? Cool? So I see a lot of information here, and there's a lot of emails, and it looks like I've got an email that looks like it's pretty urgent from Alex Darrow. So I'm going to click on Alex's email, and he's saying something like, hey, Katie, I really need to go over this presentation with you. Please ping me as soon as possible. Hey, I'm here in Grapevine. How am I going to be able to really meet to go over a presentation with him? And it looks like Alex is saying, hey, we have to meet today. There's no way I'm going to be able to meet out. There's no way in California. But when you take a look at this, we've actually built some extensions into Outlook that give us some really cool features. Take a look at big maps and action items up there, kind of in between the picture as well as the body of the email. So now we can interact directly with the email without having to leave the email, just like we did earlier with inserting that picture. If I go to action items, what Outlook is doing, it's actually searching through the email, seeing if there are items you should act on and create flags on. So for example, please meet me at the following address by 7:30 is something I should probably follow up on. So Outlook makes it easy to do that. It looks like also in this email, there's an address, 1 Microsoft Way, Redmond, Washington. If I click Big Maps, it's going to contact Big Maps and show me within the body of the email, pinch and zoom, where I need to be. But unfortunately, like I said, I can't be with Alex today. He's all the way in California. But what is very cool about Office 2013 and the integration with Office 365 is the power of the link. So you can see that Alex is actually green. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Alex's icon there, and there's a lot of information I can find out about Alex. He's located over there in Pacific Daylight Time. There's his office phone number. There's his office work address. But we've got to work on this presentation right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give Alex a quick video call by simply clicking on the video icon, starting the video, and hopefully Alex will actually be able to answer this. Come on. Sorry, I'm on a new network, so I think it's giving me some trouble. There we go. All right, so let's see if Alex is actually going to come up here. Hey, Alex, how's it going? Looks like Alex. Sorry, folks, the internet connectivity might not be as great as we'd like it to be, but Alex is located over there in California, and hopefully he can still hear me. Alex, can you wave to us? All right. So we've got the link. So you get the point. You get the picture of what we can actually do. Now, based on the network connectivity, I may not be able to share on my desktop, but I kind of want to show you this if I can. So, Alex, I know we worked on this presentation together. Do you mind? I know I can't be there in person. Let's go ahead and share on your desktop so I can start working on that PowerPoint with you. Great. So he says he can hear me just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and accept Alex's sharing request. And this is probably going to take just a second to build out. But now, again, I can't be in California, but I can be the next best thing. And while this is loading right here, what you're going to see is Alex's desktop is actually loading up. I can see that he's working on a PowerPoint presentation, and I might be able to now tell him, hey, Alex, that PowerPoint presentation looks pretty good, but I need you to move this icon over here or erase this particular text, and I see exactly what he's saying. So folks, thank you for the time on stage. Hopefully you see what you like. We're going to be in the booth to show you even more. Really appreciate the time. Thank you.